All right, well, welcome and thanks for joining us in this presentation. I'm going to go into the science of the telomere, the isogenesis telomere support, and the importance of that and the science behind it. And followed by Jojo will go over the collagen elixir and the science of that, and then we'll wrap this up. So thanks for joining us, and I look forward to sharing this information with you. Back in 2009, late 2009, early 2010, I was introduced to Bill Andrews, who's a geneticist. And he came up with the motto, I'm going to cure aging or die trying, because there was something that he understood about the chromosomes and the symptoms of aging and the degenerative diseases that go along with that. And so if you look at the top left here, that's your chromosomes, and they sit in the middle of every cell. And if we were to dive into the chromosome, on the end here, you're seeing depicted in red, that's the telomere. Most people don't know they have one. I've lectured to a lot of doctors, chiropractors, surgeons, pharmacists. Most of them don't understand, in depth what the telomere role is. A lot of them don't even know what a telomere is. And then the general public, I'd say probably 99% of people out there don't know what a telomere is and the role it plays. Being introduced to Bill Andrews and being mentored by Bill, I started to understand the profound role that the telomere is, and I haven't stopped talking about it ever since. So if we look at this shoestring, the plastic tip is representing the telomere. And when the telomere wears away, incrementally it gets shorter and shorter until eventually it reaches something called senescence, where the cell shuts down. And you'll die of a degenerative disease at that point. And that's where they pinpointed where aging, the symptoms of aging, and all the degenerative issues this is where they start. And what causes that. And it's all Nobel Prize winning research in 2009. So Bill knew that this shouldn't be happening. When the telomere gets damaged and starts to degenerate, that the body has the innate ability to heal it back up, but it hasn't been doing that. That process has been suppressed for quite some time now. And not only has it been suppressed for a while, but we're actually shortening and damaging the telomere faster than we ever have through the different lifestyle approaches and the chemicals that are in our air, water, and food. In fact, preservatives and trans fats have actually been shown to shorten and damage the telomere faster. So what does that mean? It's speeding up the aging and disease processes to where we see degenerative issues happening right out of the womb now, because the telomere is actually being attacked while the baby's inside, developing as a fetus. And before it's born, the telomere is already damaged. And on the front page of USA Today, it said kids' telomeres are quite a bit shorter than they used to be just in recent years. That was back in 2011. So they're seeing these degenerative diseases at younger and younger ages. And we can see that all around us. Kids have osteoporosis now, and babies are actually being born with type 2 diabetes, which is a telomere issue. Every single one of them are linked to the health or lack of health within the telomere. So all of this is part of the Nobel Prize winning research that I was introduced to by Bill. And so what Bill was looking for in his research was, why isn't the telomere repairing itself when it gets damaged? Our skin does, right? When we get cut, it heals the cut right back up like it never happened. And he actually identified the problem, and it's with an enzyme called telomerase. He identified it on a molecular level in human cells back in 1994. By 1997, he was able to activate enough of this enzyme that it actually started repairing the telomere and reconnecting the DNA. These are nucleic bonds right here. That's your DNA. That's like the software in the cell. So he was able to activate this enzyme enough to where it did the repairing, just like he believed it would. And he was able to do that with human cells in a petri dish. So that was in 1997. And he published all of his work, and Harvard piggybacked off of that. And around a little over a decade later, in 2009, it was reported by ABC News, which I'm going to show here on the next slide, where these mice had short telomeres, and they had osteoporosis, diabetes, cancer, even Alzheimer's. This is their brains, and you can see how they're smaller here and bigger here. That's because of activating the enzyme in the mice. So Harvard was able to piggyback off of Bill's research and do it in mice. So it went from the petri dish in human cells to living, breathing mammals like you and me. And then that's when the Nobel Prize was given to this research, was because of the important role that was proven in a living, breathing mammal. So none of that would have happened without Bill and his research and discovering and being able to do it in human cells first. So this is the ABC News clip. I'll just play it. It's really quick, showing you this evolution of telomeres and the role that we know they play.
And now, eternal youth. Is it in a cage around the corner? News tonight of a breakthrough for some pioneering mice. But we always wonder, what does a fountain of youth for rodents reveal for humans? Here's Sharon Alfonsi reporting.
I feel tremendous.
In the movie Cocoon, it's a swimming pool that turns back the clock for a group of senior citizens. But now researchers have found a way not just to stop, but reverse the aging process. The key is something called a telomere. We all have them. They're the tips or caps of your chromosome, seen here in yellow. This is what it looks like in a young adult. But as you grow older, the telomeres become damaged and frayed, and as they stop working, we start aging, experiencing things like hearing and memory loss. Scientists took mice who were prematurely aged, added an enzyme, and essentially turned their telomeres back on. You can see it before the enzyme, after.
Their brain function improved, their fertility was restored. It was a remarkable reversal of the aging process.
Look at this picture. The mouse on the right has bad skin, gray hair, and is balding, but the one on the left had its telomeres flipped back on.
And you could see that essentially you now have a dark coat color, that the hair is restored, that the coat has a nice healthy sheen to it.
Even more dramatic, the change in brain size. This is before. The mice had 75% of a normal brain, like a patient with severe Alzheimer's. But after the telomeres were reactivated, the brain returns to normal size.
So that's pretty amazing, right? And again, most people don't even know about telomeres and the important role. It's the foundation of our health and the quality of our lives. And the difficult challenge for Bill Andrews was trying to find compounds that would be safe to activate that enzyme and be more along a natural process for the body. Because the enzyme's already there, the gene that produces that enzyme. So from 1994 to 2009, more than 10 years, they spent over $30 million testing over 304,000 different compounds, putting one at a time right into the chromosome to see if it would express that enzyme, telomerase. They found 8 things, but they were all chemicals that couldn't be used. But this is a graph here that he's using and working with the human cells, where when they put a compound in, is it repairing because the enzyme's been activated? And they found 8. That's what the red lines represent. So the red lines would be equal to what happened with the mice in Harvard in their lab. So while Harvard was working with the mice, Bill was still trying to find with his research team things that you and I could consume that would accomplish this. John Anderson and isogenics was introduced to Bill Andrews back in 2009. And the reason why is because of the ability to formulate, the commitment to quality, and also striving to always, discover these breakthroughs in science and in nature that could help to support the human anatomy. And John had formulated for over 600 companies, but the problem was everybody was compromising his products that he would formulate for them. So he partnered up with Jim and Kathy Coover, and they founded Isogenics back in 2002. Call this the Dream Team. So when John was introduced to Bill Andrews, he said, had I known this about telomeres, I would have formulated for him a long time ago. He said, I had heard of telomeres, but I didn't know the role that they played. And then he said, I feel like this is the reason I was born and why I've learned everything that I've learned. And I feel very optimistic. So he started sending, these little bottles over to Bill's lab, which, by the way, is the only lab in the world that can do this kind of testing still to this day. And he started getting, they call these red lines, like you see over here, they call them hits. And he started getting hit after hit after hit with natural ingredients that they tried over here, but wouldn't work. And we got to watch this happen, Jojo and I, and it was a very exciting time. It's still exciting today. Bill Andrews said, this is going to change the landscape of human health as we know it. These ingredients could be used right away. And the product was released in 2011. He said, there's no way you can put it in your body and it not work. This is me at 33. This is me at 50. And it absolutely transformed and revolutionized, everything about me. So what I've been on a mission of is helping people to understand what a telomere is and that they have one. It's in every one of your cells, and that we now have a nutritional support, unlike anything that's ever been around before, to help support those telomeres. And it's been a game changer. And I probably have done, between 5,000 and 10,000 presentations on this now over the last nine years or so, because it's such an important, it's such important information. So let me just, finish up here. I'll show this slide and a couple of pictures with you, and then I'll toss it over to Jojo. This is a video that Bill and I did together where he's endorsing this information that I put together. Like I said, I was mentored by Bill, and I really felt like this is my mission in life, is to help get this information out. And this is us lecturing together last year, and then he made a comment on Facebook that I know more about telomeres than most telomere biologists. So the only reason I'm sharing this with you as the listener is just to establish credibility. He even said in this presentation here that we did in Reno, Nevada, that there's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a lot of gimmicks and things that, don't have the integrity and the science behind them, but claim they do. So I just share this as a credibility and establishing that trust with the listener. The disclaimer is that since it's nutrition, we can't make any claims around curing any illnesses or diseases. So we will not do that. This is nutrition that's supporting the body. It's just through this collaboration between science and wellness, we're now supporting the body nutritionally in a way that it really hasn't ever been supported before. And that's principally based with all the science that's behind it. So Dick Sauter had a health challenge, and this quality of life was diminishing. And his daughter-in-law Amy came to a meeting that I was doing in Wisconsin, and she thought about him on the way home and got him on the product. He's 82 here, he's 83 here, and he's 87, doing things that he couldn't do 5 years earlier. See, anything that's living has the innate ability to heal itself and to thrive. It's just that we've got to do our part and give the body the nutrition and the fuel that it needs. And now you can kind of make the correlation between, we're supporting a part of the human anatomy that we didn't know about, and now we're supporting that with nutrition in a way that we haven't before. And so it's going to activate that innate ability within the body to thrive in a way that it wasn't before. But this is him at 89. He actually did 105 push-ups on Facebook live on his 89th birthday. Here he is just before turning 90. Here he is at 90 and a half, thriving and having an amazing life and enjoying his life in a way that he couldn't back when he was 82. So yeah, we call it turning back the clock in the cells. Like Bill Andrews said, this is going to change the landscape of human health. We'll see things that we haven't seen before. This is him in 2008 with his granddaughter, and this is the same granddaughter in 2020. And you can just see how fit and healthy. I mean, look at his biceps. So pretty exciting. And John Anderson also said that it's safe for any mammals. So I know there's a lot of animal lovers out there. So I just threw this slide in here to help you understand, what it can do for your pets, which become family members. We've heard the most stories around dogs and horses that were really in bad shape, and now they're bounding around. The dogs are bounding around like puppies. So there's a lot of incredible stories around that. One more story I'll share here, and everybody's telomeres are getting shorter. That's part of the Nobel Prize. In fact, they're shorter than they used to be. Kids won't live as long as their parents. The Surgeon General said that, but didn't mention anything about telomeres. Well, the reason is because they're going to get to that senescence with their telomeres earlier at a younger age, so they won't live as long. Because when you reach senescence, you die. But as our telomeres shorten, every system is going to be affected, whether it's cardiovascular, muscle, skeletal, brain, eyes, everything, every organ. And what we're seeing with people who don't have health issues, they're actually performing at a higher level. So we see it with athletes and all the different sporting events and military, CrossFit. Even Bill Andrews at 69 is running faster than when he was 40. In fact, he broke a record once he got on the product in his 60s that he set when he was 40. And he's about to crush the world record for an ultra marathon runner at 70 years old. He'll turn 70 next year. And he's so excited. And that was a result of supporting the telomeres in those different systems that an athlete would use: cardiovascular, endurance, stamina, even mental stamina. But some of these observationals that I show, the reason I show is just because the miraculousness of the human body when it's supported correctly. And Bob shared, and I'll finish up with this one, is just such the case where he was sent home from the hospital. They said, we know what's wrong with you, but we can't operate on you. You wouldn't get off the table. Your cardiovascular system's too weak and wouldn't be able to withstand the surgery. So they just sent him home and told him, prepare and get the paperwork ready. I mean, not a very bleak future, right? But the body's not giving up. The body has the innate ability within it. And some friends of Bob's shared the product with him, and here he is 6 months later back to work. He's in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He's the only announcer that is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. And they're interviewing him right here saying, what in the world just happened? We thought we were going to lose an icon in the industry. You were just in critical condition and now you're back to work. You look amazing. And this is in 2012. And he talks all about the product in that interview at fightnews.com. And then here he is at the end of 2012. He's still announcing to this day, and he's in his 80s. The last interview I read, he said, I feel like I can go on announcing for another 20 years because he's supporting his body nutritionally to thrive on a level that, again, it never has before. And I could say that across the board for humanity. It's never been supported like this. So this is a really important and essential and critical presentation and educational process to help people understand what a telomere is and how you can support it now. What I want to do now is just toss it over to make a transition here with JoJo and have her share her screen on her end. So JoJo, take it away.
Great job, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Let me bring my screen up here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is JoJo Bennington. I'm certified health and wellness consultant, and I have been working with this incredible company for over 15 years now. And we have a ton of incredible products, but the one that I want to really talk about this morning. So Dave talked about telomeres and how important that is for our DNA, and I want to talk about collagen and really share with you why this new collagen that we just put out, it's just been over a month right now. So you guys are going to be able to see some of the 30-day results that we've had, but why this is so important. So there's been 10 years of research and over 200 research staff and 50 doctors that have been involved in this product. So it wasn't just an overnight, let's do something. They've put time, energy, and clinical studies into what's going on here. And so in understanding why collagen is so important for our body is that it's the most abundant protein in our body. It's the protein that holds everything together. It's our connective tissue, all of our bones, our muscles, our tendons. We need all of those things supporting us and to be healthy for us to have healthy skin, for our bones and joints to be healthy. But collagen has to be ingested. So we do sort of make it a little bit over our life and we build up a little bit, but unless we ingest it, we don't make more and we don't keep what we have. So that's a really important point, is that we have to put it inside. A lot of times we put stuff on the outside, but we have to put it on the inside. So type 1 is the most common that's found in our hair, skin, and bones, and ligaments, and tendons, and our connective tissue. There is type 2 and 3 that also is found in our body. We have over 20 different types, but type 1 is the most abundant. And the amino acid profile of marine collagen, which is what's in this little bottle, is more closely related to our own skin than cow, chicken, or pig, which is what we usually see in collagen that people are using now. So the marine collagen is much different. It comes from Scandinavian waters where it's very clean. They bottle it right on source. And that marine collagen, mimicking our skin, our amino acid profile more closely, makes it more bioavailable and easily absorbed by our body. Now, there's been multiple clinical studies on what 5 grams or a clinical dose will do. So typical doses of collagen are between 1 grams and 2.5 grams. This is a clinical dose of 5 grams. So this is one little shot. You open it up, you drink it down, and you know, in clinical studies and double-blind placebo studies, you can see all different sorts of results of dermis density going up, skin elasticity going up, fine lines and wrinkles going down, even photo protection. So from, you know, I know that a lot of the studies that we saw went from 60 days to 120 days. There's also inside of our magic little bottle, besides the 5 grams of marine collagen, vitamin C, zinc, and biotin, all things to help with our immune system and our cell function and to keep our skin hydrated. There's also different beauty blends that were put together, antioxidants that were put in there like goji berry and aloe vera. Always, I love that there's aloe vera in what we do to support the digestive system and help the body to, you know, take the nutrients and make them bioavailable. What's even more important than all of that is the delivery system, right? Because if we have a lousy delivery system, then we can't get what we need out of what we're putting in. So because this is so amazing, this is called double Nutra technology, and it's a liposomal technology that it emulsifies all of the ingredients and marries them together in an environment where they're happy. Typically, if you put oil and water together in a glass, they would separate, or you would be able to see the separation marks. But with this, when you marry those ingredients together with this technology and it emulsifies them, then it actually makes it more absorbable. So imagine taking all of those ingredients and marrying them together in a bubble and then putting them in your body, and all of those cells in your body are a bubble. And now it's able to absorb together and become one bubble. And what that bubble does is plump our skin up and make it look wonderful. But I'm going to show you guys some pictures about that. But it helps with the absorption. The results are just better. And so clinical dose of marine collagen that mimics our own system. The most abundant collagen in the body that we need to help protect us, and with this technology and how it's been blended together, is incredible. So it's also promoting gut health and joint health. Obviously, if we're working with tendons and ligaments, we will see joint health, you know, improve. We're going to see energy and mood. That's been a huge thing for me and so many around me, is the increase in energy, the increase in mood, and just that overall feeling of well-being. But also, you know, muscle mass is a big deal, especially as we're aging. We want our muscle mass to be solid and lean. And when we're healing connective tissue, right, I'm always back to that, thinking about how it's holding things together, right? That connective tissue is so important. But there's another factor behind this, which is oxidation. And, you know, collagen is a very fragile molecule. And if it's allowed to oxidize, then it becomes ineffective. The reason that these are in single little glass bottles, importantly, is that it will not allow oxidation. It's bottled on site in 0.15 seconds. Now, if you think about how fast that is, it almost seems impossible for it to be that fast, but this is how they're doing it in these glass bottles, so there's no gas exchange. So if you ever think about walking down the grocery store aisle and the detergent aisle, and you can smell all of the detergents, well, it's all in packages. Why can you smell it? Well, because it's gas exchanging through the plastic bottles, through the cardboard boxes. And the glass is so important because there's no gas exchange allowed out, and there's nothing that's allowed in. So it cannot oxidize. That means it's fresh. You don't need preservatives. It's all natural that way. You don't have to add anything to it to keep it fresh. So that's what's really important with that. Really simple to take. You just shake it up, open it up, drink it down, 50 calories a shot. There's no added sugars. It's sweet from apple juice. If anybody has ever tasted it, you know it tastes like, I believe somebody said it tasted like a grape and an apple had a baby and put it in a bottle, and that's what it tastes like. And I pretty much agree with those sentiments. I was really worried when they're talking about fish. I'm like, oh gosh, what's it going to taste like? But it's so yummy. And you know, with the results that I'm showing and all of it, so if you think about all of those things put together, one of those things alone is amazing, but putting them all together is incredible. And that is why we've just we've hit this market. We've disrupted things that are going on in this collagen world. And the beauty business is what, I wish I knew the number right off the top of my head, but I know it's like $50 billion a year, might even be more than that. We've sold in 72 hours, we sold 1 million bottles. In 2 weeks, we sold 2 million bottles. In just over 3 weeks, we sold 3 million bottles. I don't even know where we're at today. We're just at a month, just over a month's time, and it's not slowing down. It's not slowing down. They've had us in Yahoo Finance. We've been listed on many sites as the #1 beauty trend of 2021. That's a pretty big deal when we're talking about beauty. And there is a reason for this. The results. And I know that I'm the research science geek. I'm going to always go back and look at the science and look at the ingredients and how it's made and all that. But when I saw these pictures, I couldn't deny that there was something happening here. Even just seeing the pictures without knowing all of that, you know something incredible is happening. 42 days, 30 days, short periods of time. And I could go over every result with you guys, but I just want you to like put some eyeballs on these pictures. You can see without me pointing out every line, but I'm going to just some of the things that I want you to look at is the brightness, the complexion, the pore size, the little fine lines, all of those things that are diminishing. That's just that brightness. And so, you know, I have never, but you guys, I would always, before I came on camera, go powder my face and put stuff on my face. I have not been putting anything on my face. And so everybody's like, oh my gosh, I was like, I just want to look at myself on Zoom because it looks so good, right? But when you look at what's happening in a really short period of time, 30 days, anybody can do a 30-day trial. Carter, I know Carter's always on here with us. People were asking him what he was doing to his face because these are no filters, same lighting, no makeup. Everyone's asking me, what filters are you guys using? I'm like, we're not using filters. Incredible. Amanda down here in the corner said she spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to fix her skin. Now, look at 30 days. You can see, especially when they zoom in, look at the pore size. Amazing. And you guys saw Dick, we did earlier when Dave was showing the telomeres, right? Dick's 91. We're seeing his skin change. I'm so excited to see his results as we go through, 90 days and 120 days and see where he ends up. But I look in the mirror and I am amazed at what's happening with me. At first, I would put my picture side by side and was amazed because I didn't think anything was happening. Now I can absolutely see all of the different things that are happening. And I have, pretty serious sun damage. I live in Las Vegas. We used to, lay out at the lake with Crisco on and do bad things to our skin. But there was something that you guys, I'm going to be really vulnerable and share this because I know that it's going to inspire somebody out there. But my worst part of anything that I've ever had on my body, I talk badly, I look in the mirror, I'm always saying how much I hate my legs. I don't wear shorts. I always living in leggings or capris. And it was the skin elasticity, I believe, the skin elasticity and the plumping of what's happening with my skin that's changing my legs. So just so you guys realize the difference, this is 30 days. Prior to this, I was working out, doing the Thigh Master. I have a Fascia Blaster. I have every potion and lotion. I even have a little needle pen that's got the needles on it to try and rebuild my collagen. Like I have done thing after thing after thing after thing. What I haven't done is gone and get lasered because I'm afraid of pain. I'm afraid of pain stuff. The fact that I could open this and drink this down and have this inside of me. And I don't know how much you guys can see, but I said to my husband, a week and a half ago, oh my gosh, do you see a difference in my legs? And he said, totally. So if you realize what's happening, that tightness, I have been working on that for my whole life. My whole life, I'm 55. crazy, right? I took a picture in some different light so you could see the huge contrast. So around my knees, like my knees are always, you know, my knees always hanging over. Like there's just all of these things that are the crepiness of my skin. And that's all sun damage, I get it, but it's also, you know, my mom's got it, my sister's got it, it runs in our family. So just if you realize, you guys, what's happening, this changed in 30 days. I am floored. Floored. So, right, all the things that we see, can't deny it. This is Dave's wife, Carrie. Her brightness, her pore size, her mood, even her knees feeling better. She's had surgery on. So all of the results we're seeing, I mean, 80 to 95% of the people who put this in 30 days saw a result. That's a lot. That's not a small number, right? If there was 85 to 90% of anything happening, everyone's doing it, right? I mean, everyone's excited. So we're just going to say, do your own 30-day trial. It's so simple. There's so many different ways to get it. So, you know, it comes in little 10 count boxes. So you can, you know, put a 30 count together. We love to do the 4-pack. So you have a little bit of extra so you can double up. Some of the days I did one, some of the days I did two, and not all 30 days did I do two. I think it was about 2 weeks and 2 weeks. And adding in, you know, the isogenesis to that and really building in the cells. We're just going to say, come in, do your own 30-day trial and see what happens for you. Because I did not know that was going to happen for me. I couldn't be more excited. So we're just going to say, you know, invite people to watch this. And if you're watching this, get back to the person who shared it with you, and don't wait. Don't wait. Get started now. Get started now. And thank you guys for being with us today and for letting me be vulnerable and show my crazy pictures with you and share the results. And I can't wait to see your results.